What's up, fellow YouTubers? How's it going? How's it flowing? I'm here to do a Hunter Avalon video response, and this is no means an attack on Hunter. Some of the videos he makes I agree with, but this particular video that I'm doing a response to, I kind of have my opinions of, and in all fairness, that's how YouTube works. This is a video response to Hunter Avalon's video. So I'm going to turn the desktop back up and mute Discord for a second. And let's see here. Now I'm hanging out on Rock Club Nation. This is a Discord of dedicated fans, and they're legit. And you know what I'm saying. And here's the thing of it. In all honesty, I'm hanging out on Rock Club Nation, which is good to hang out with friends, and you know, you're stuck in quarantine. And this is what I like doing sometimes. I'll hang out on Discord, make a video on YouTube, mute the microphone or mute the desktop, so that way my fans can watch along before that even happens. It's like getting a sneak peek at the goodness. Yeah, buddy. The only reason I'm muting my mic on Discord is because, well, I can mute my mic, but then I wouldn't be able to hear the video response. So I'm going to have to mute my mic to listen to Hunter's video, and then, yeah. But, yeah, this is ridiculous, YouTube. The society we live in is just, I don't know. I try not to dislike videos. I have a very strict guideline for doing that. In fact, I may hop off Discord for a second while I make this video. No disrespect to my fans, I appreciate the support. But I'll hop back on Discord when I get done making this video response. Yep. Okay, so we got ourselves a beer, we got ourselves a goblet. Now, what's the title of Hunter Avalon's video? Simps have officially gone too far. Now, before I make this video response, there are some talking points that I actually agree with. Hunter Avalon does make a couple of fair points in this video, but also there are some points where I disagree with him. And fair warning, this is going to be really adult talk. Like, this video is getting age restricted anyway because I'm drinking beer and smoking tobacco in it. But I tried making this video when I got home last night. It was too long, and I was just like, nope. You can do this video without making it 2 to 3 hours long. It's just not necessary. So perhaps if you're a millennial, you've heard the term simp. I've heard it before too. I've heard the word but never knew what it really meant. So Hunter Avalon's going to explain to us what a simp is. Yeah, sit back, relax, and it's going to be a good video response. I have just enough beer in my fridge to deal with this crap. I'm not saying anything about alcoholism. I'm just saying sometimes when you hear about all the bullshit in our society and you're dealing with your own bullshit on top of it, and your friends are going through bullshit, you're just like, that's one of those I need a beer moments. Now, there is an article about a veteran who is much older, and this veteran bought a sex doll, a life-sized, adult-sized sex doll. The reason why I have some difficulty making this video is because I've had trolls send me sex dolls to try to fuck with me. The first one, they removed the finger. In the second one, they made it way too short. So I sat there and said, you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. But if I'm sitting there packing a pipe, my hands get all ashy. So I go to do a ventriloquist skit with one of them, and then the ash gets all over their skin. But to be fair, my trolls are assholes. They really are. And you stop and ask yourself, you know, why would you spend money on someone just to fuck? Why would you give them a sex doll that they don't want just to fuck with them? You know, personally speaking, I think the concept is great. If you haven't had a girlfriend in 30 to 40 plus years, you haven't had a girl to cuddle with, you spent years cultivating yourself, becoming the perfect gentleman, you know, and maybe you have a hard time finding dating because dating in general sucks. Well, that's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think dating sucks. Truth be told, people suck, and that's why people buy sex toys. Humans crave sex. That's a perfectly natural human response. If you're an adult and you have natural desires for other adults. But that doesn't mean it's the most important thing. It's not, okay? What's more important than sex is good communication, and we've talked about this on my channel before with the epic Shane and Hannah video response that I did. And here's the truth of it. It doesn't matter if you find someone or not, you're still going to die alone. Okay, so if you're lucky enough to find a wife or a husband to spend the rest of your life with, cool. If not, and you get a sex doll because you haven't had a girlfriend in like 30 to 40 years, you know, it's 2020, you'd think we'd be a bit more progressive. Meanwhile, you know, it is a little weird, but, oh wait. Now my buddy Chris that was hanging out earlier gave me some smoke, so I appreciate that. That's most definitely what's up. See, I see friends who go through shit too, and I try to be a good influence, and, you know. The power of the mind is a wonderful thing. You can do anything you set your mind to. You know, and this is my take on it. If you want to spend $3,000 on a sex doll, you're old, you haven't had a girlfriend in years, maybe your wife died and you've been lonely and dating's been hard, because that's the thing that sucks about getting older. Your wife dies before you do, and you're just stuck wishing you had her, missing her, craving her. And that happens to women too. Women end up losing their husbands, and husbands end up losing their wives to some bullshit. You want an example of true love, and I want to say this because it's the truth. Steve Irwin, rest in peace. Steve Irwin died when I was a kid, and much like losing Chester Bennington when I was an adult, I'm like, man, this sucks. You know, but Steve Irwin died doing what he loved doing, you know, educating the world on animals. One particular evening, I was at a zoo with my family. They had an exhibit where you could feed stingrays and pet them. Ew-wee. So you know what I did? I fed the stingrays. I got to pet them. I'm like, you know what? It's kind of cool. Animals kick ass. Animals are innocent to the world's bullshit. Humans are jerks to each other, and then they're jerks to animals on top of it. It's like, what the fuck, man? This one kid wanted to feed the stingrays so badly, but he didn't have enough money to do it, so I chipped in a couple bucks to give him a large container of stingray food. And I hoped that that would spark an interest in animals, and you know what I'm saying? I did that for Steve Irwin, because, you know, yeah. But that's just the kicker of it. Steve Irwin dies doing what he loves doing, and Chester kills himself. I mean, fuck, dude. Fuck suicide. I feel like suicide is just like going into a box of cereal to dig for the toy and wasting all that cereal. Think about it. If you're sitting there with a box of Life cereal and they're like, there's a special prize inside, a reward for the end. You know? Fuck suicide, I'm just saying. That's what it feels like, dude. I feel like death is a reward for putting up with all of life's bullshit and being patient enough, saying, you know what? It's gonna kick me in the balls from time to time, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from making the best of my life. Meanwhile, there's this video response over here. Honestly, if I hadn't had a girlfriend in like 8 years, I'd consider saving up for one. So I get the idea of it. And to be fair, women use dildos. They make sex dolls for women and gays that have a penis that doesn't get tired. And women want to sit there and bitch and say, how are we supposed to compete with those female sex dolls? Well, it's no competition. The real thing always feels better. But if you can't get the real thing, and you want to know something, here's an interesting fact about sex dolls. The original sex doll was invented to help people with special needs who can't form healthy relationships. I'm actually capable of doing that. My last girlfriend regrets rejecting me. I subscribed to my ex, Stephanie, to show some support. Not trying to get back with her or contact her, you know, just we're all doing our thing, you know. And of course, because I did that, now my trolls and my fans are harassing her, and it's like, and that's the thing of it, YouTube, like, I don't fucking get why our society has to suck so much. You know what? Society, dating, social media, those things don't suck. Okay? Society, dating, and social media don't suck. What sucks is people. That's the red pill for the day. If you like the videos, subscribe for more. Honesty comes at a price. Some people can't afford to handle the truth because it makes them feel uncomfortable. But there is a reason why Hunter Avalone is uncomfortable with this story. Ironically enough, names are just a coincidence. That being said, names are quite common. People name their sex dolls and their dogs and their cats and whatever they have, anything they want. Now Hunter Avalone's a little creeped out because the veteran in question who bought the sex doll also has a Facebook page where the sex doll is his profile, and he acts like he's her, and he'll post photos of the meals he cooks for himself, and then he'll vlog about it on Facebook pretending the sex doll does it for him out of love. And yeah, you know, it's a little weird, but people post pictures of the food they cook all the time because people think they care. Some people are famous enough that they do care. I mean, yeah, you know, the reason why I get fucked with on YouTube is morbid curiosity. People fuck with me on YouTube out of morbid curiosity. That's just how it is. But when I've been single for almost 3 years, I'm like, fuck a sex doll, dude. I'd rather have a goddamn car. I'd rather build my Model T C-Cab Rat Rod Dream Hearse. Oh my freaking gird, dude. I got this concept for a custom-made hot rod that I want to build, and you know, if I won the lottery, I'd totally do it. You know, if I won the lottery and built my dream house and built my custom car and all this other shit, and try the dating scene out, in like 30 to 40 years I'm still rich, but I haven't found someone. You know what I'm saying? I get why people buy sex dolls. I do. You know, dating sucks. People suck. You know, the concept of our society and the way they treat dating and sex and love in general is disgusting. I've bitched about that on YouTube so much that I'm blue in the face about it at this point. Tell you what. Ugh. You know what? I get crap for wearing goth makeup and being a heterosexual. That's the kicker of it. People call me a faggot and a tranny all the time, and I laugh at their dumbasses. Women see I'm not afraid to be myself, and that's why women dig me. And that's the fucking truth, dude. I've witnessed it. Two weeks after my last girlfriend broke up with me, I got a blowjob from this of-age chick. And it was nice. It felt good. We were slamming shots of vodka, and it was totally consensual. She pulled my cock out, and the first thing she said was, "Nice cock," and then she starts going to town on it, and I'm like, ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, my last girlfriend was just like, "I wish I wouldn't have broken up with King Cobra." You know, she didn't say my YouTube name, but, you know, yeah. So I figured, you know, that's how you treat the ladies in a sense. Like, if I got something right, it's if your last girlfriend says, "I wished I wouldn't have broken up with Josh," then you're doing something right. You know, my last girlfriend bought me a signed photo of Ozzy Osbourne because she knows Ozzy Osbourne's one of my idols, and I have it hanging up on where I keep my magic wands, stacked up in my collection. And she also did tattoos and played video games. My trolls are super jealous. They're like, "Wait a minute, Cobra's got Asperger's and he found a badass chick to hang out with?" I'm jealous. So they called Summer a bad tattoo artist and every other name in the book. But to be fair, she's only tattooed 4 people prior to me. I was the 4th person she tattooed. I was just being a supportive boyfriend and getting some badass Aussie knuckles. I didn't care if they were going to fade or not. I expected that to happen. I was trying to be a supportive boyfriend for my girl. And I bragged about it too, like, "Yeah, my girlfriend does tattoos. What's up with that?" You know? And people couldn't handle it. They're like, "Ooh." You know, I learned from my first relationship my mistakes, and I've never done it since. And ironically enough, it bites me in the ass, and that could be why I'm going through a 3-year dry spell, is to appreciate what I fucked up on. You know what I'm saying? But regrettably, women and men are shitty to each other, and that's why people buy sex dolls. Am I right, ladies? You get a dick that never gets tired, he'll fuck your pussy senseless, and you won't have to put up with his smelly ass or his bullshit. Which, guys, if you're tired of stinking and you want to smell like a rock star, get yourself some Tactical Soap from the Grondike Soap Company. Tactical Soap is made in North Carolina in the good old US of A. This company was started by a single dad. Pretty humble beginning, if I do say so myself. They have all kinds of awesome products, including beard pheromone oil, the God of War beard oil. I'm going to pick me up some of that when I get my YouTube money, I tell you what. When I get my YouTube money, I want to buy some more Tactical Soap products, do an unboxing of that. I like wearing it because I smell good for the of-age ladies. You don't even know. I don't have to get laid to know that this shit works. People giving me shit about my damn dry spell, and I'm like, dude, I have patience. I've always preached this on my channel. Sex is not a need, it's a want. And sometimes you don't get what you want. So there were worse ways of dealing with it. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. Fuck rape. Like, yeah, you know, if someone buys a sex doll, it's a little weird, but at least they're not raping anyone. But there's a double standard in our society that exists with adult toys. If women buy a dildo, it's seen as, oh, she's just a slut, she can't get enough dick, or she's sick of men and all their bullshit, so she's just gonna do it herself. Maybe women enjoy masturbating just as much as men, and somehow when men do it, it's creepy. That's the double standard, and that's the fucking truth, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you're in a college dorm and then you see your best friend who's a female has a dildo in her drawer. You're like, oh, I didn't need to see that, but that's kind of kinky. But if she looks in your drawer and sees a pocket pussy, half the time she might be like, oh, this dude needs to get laid. He has a pocket pussy. Oh, that's so gross. But then secretly she's like, wishing that she could hook up with him. Ouch. Love can be so brutally unfair sometimes, and you know what? You learn from your mistakes, regardless of if it's a romantic relationship or if it's just life in general, you know? And if you don't learn from your mistakes and repeat the same actions expecting a different outcome, you're a dumbass. That's like sitting there saying, oh, I'm going to stick my hand on the stove and hope it doesn't hurt. I'm going to turn it up as hot as I can. Oh fuck, that burned my hand. I wonder if it'll hurt if I do it again. Fuck, ow! You know what? And people don't have to suck. Society doesn't have to suck, but the way society conditions things. I wanted to speak some red pill truth in this video response. You thought what I said earlier opened up your mind to some shit? Ooh-wee. At this point, I know this is really long and drawn out, but you know, I was quick to judge Hunter Avallone after watching the first couple minutes of this video, but then after seeing why he was grossed out by it, I'm like, you know, that's fair. The only reason I disliked the video is because some of the judgmental comments he made. And we'll get into that as we watch the video. And this is an adult conversation. This is just friendly discussion. Excuse me. Now, as soon as I get my YouTube money, I'm getting my guitars fixed. Shout out to the Rockstar Music Store, downtown Casper. In fact, it's right next door practically to the Soda Rialto shop. Same location, baby.
I mean, there's a lot of people that they like to get a little simpy. But what happened?
A little simpy. A little simpy. Oh, that's Hunter Avallone's word of the day. Simpy. The fuck is this? Sesame Street? Oh, Bert and Ernie are gay and they don't know how to handle it. Big Bird's eating the Cookie Monster's asshole out and the world's going to shit. Just kidding. The world isn't going to shit. The world is how you perceive it. And that's another red pill thought. There are people out there who have it worse. And admittedly, I get frustrated with my struggles just like anybody else. But that's part of, you know, that's part of the bullshit we call life. Some of us are going to struggle a lot worse than others. And honestly, when I see people who are struggling a lot worse than I am, I'm humble about it. Like, I've been sexually active with 9 of-age chicks. But I don't brag about it, because I'm humble about it. I'm clean, I don't have any kids. Women find me attractive, I'm in my prime. I'm not in the rush to get laid, dude. I'm building my career, god damn it. Becoming an internet rock star overnight, doing my thing, you know. Trying to change the way gender relations relate to each other, so that way communication amongst men and women becomes easier, and when it becomes easier, all of a sudden women and men have a better understanding of each other. I also preach gender equality, which I go too far to preach gender equality sometimes, I will admit that, but sometimes that's what it takes. The uncomfortable truth to help people acknowledge the sad bullshit in our society. And nobody likes thinking about that crap. People are just blissfully ignorant or choose to ignore it. So then you get people like me who I'm just like, no, this isn't right. I could have a girlfriend, but women don't trust men. Men are assholes to women. Women are assholes to men. My trolls like to fuck with every chick I try to hook up with because they're jealous of my fame and my charisma, despite having autism. It's ridiculous, dude. But then I watched this Hunter Avalon video and I'm like, Now I got windows both open in front of my desk. I'm trying to cut down on smoking in my apartment. I actually bought an ashtray for outside because cigarette butts are a real problem. I spent $40 plus out of Cobra Craft handmade wand money to try to make the apartment complex a little bit cleaner. I'm a smoker, but when I see cigarette butts flicked on the ground, it looks trashy. So I try to do a good thing for my community, and I talk about it because, you know, that's how the world needs to be. If we can make the world a better place for each other, if you don't like the person, just ignore them. You know, it's weird, life, because I'm sick and tired of Catholics molesting molesting kids and shit. The pedophiles in the Catholic Church. You know what I'm digging at, YouTube? Fuck them. There are a lot of Catholics who are good people who are just trying to pray and practice their religion peacefully, just like anyone else. You know, the stereotype that, oh, there's a Catholic molesting children, you know, that's no different than, oh, look, a Muslim who suicide bombs. You know, if you're practicing your religion peacefully and no one's bothering you, you're not bothering them, who cares? You get an adult-sized sex doll because you haven't had a real adult woman in 30 or 40 years, and dating these days sucks if you're from an older generation because all this technology we have has made bullying worse. On top of that, this is why you shouldn't sext if you're in high school. If you're in high school, you shouldn't sext because that's gross, especially if you're underage. You can get caught with a sex offender charge for sexting your underage girlfriend if you yourself are underage as well. That's the thing of it. They don't fuck around anymore, dude. You could be 16, your girlfriend could be 15. You send your girlfriend a picture of your dick. Her daddy sees that and it's like, oh, what the fuck is this on your phone? This boyfriend you didn't tell me about. She gets grounded and his ass gets a sex offender charge. Even though it was totally consensual, you know, and that dude has to live with that the rest of his life. That's the problem with the offendery list. They don't tell you what you're on there for. They just say sex offender. They don't classify what you're on there for. And the reason why they changed it, because some bigoted asshole said that people were murdering pedophiles, so they had to change the list to protect them. I shit you not, look it up. Oh my god, dude. I wish I, like, prior to a certain point, the sex offendery list would tell you what you were on the list for. Like, okay, let's say, for example, you got a little too drunk and you got caught peeing in a park because you couldn't make it to a bathroom, so you went in some bushes and, you know, some lady jogging at night saw you and, oh my god, eek, a penis, and then you got put on the list, you know. And now, you know what I'm saying, now they don't even tell you what you're on there for, they just say, and now it becomes a fucking thing where you gotta explain yourself, and people just look at you like, ew, get the fuck away from me. I mean, I saw a story on fucking Facebook that made me so fucking sick to my ooh, dude, just thinking about it makes me want a fucking cigarette. Ooh, dude. There was a CEO in Utah who got caught with 13 to 14 gigabytes of some really fucked up pornography, and he only got 120 days in jail. Oh my fucking god, dude. Ooh. Ooh. Breathe. Breathe. I'm trying to work on my temper, but sometimes society pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. And you know, when you're scrolling through Facebook, you see someone post a picture of their cute puppy. You see what so-and-so's cooking. Oh look, hey, so-and-so redid their kitchen. That looks nice. And then someone else posts a really disgusting, fucked up article, and you're just like, ugh. I mean, I couldn't make this video response without going into some layers here, dude, because there's levels to this shit. So I kind of feel like Hunter Avallone judging the veteran for his, you know, but to be fair, some of the shit this guy's doing is a little weird. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get into it. Like, just, and there's so many fucking layers to this shit, dude. Like, this. Honestly, I don't even care if I run out of alcohol at this point. I got 2 beers left. I really don't. Here's to my successful YouTube. Here's to my fans. Cheers. Cilantro. Salud. Alrighty. Simps have officially gone too far. Hunter Avallone. You know, simps, or liberals, I should say, get a bad name, just like Republicans. You know how many times I've heard people bitch about Trump, and all the horrible things he's done? And I'm like, well, if you focus on all the horrible shit he's done, then you're not going to see anything good in him. He's actually done a couple of good things for this country. You know, politically speaking, I'm split down the middle. I'm a little bit Democrat and I'm a little bit Republican. I support weed legalization, gun rights, and abortion. And if that offends you, kiss my American ass. I watched a documentary on modern marvels on tobacco. It didn't inspire me to quit by any means. If anything, watching that documentary, and I'm just like, you're watching modern marvels on tobacco, and if you're an actual smoker, you're watching that going, that's like someone who's hungry watching a food video. You look at American history, our country was founded on a couple of crops: tobacco, cotton, corn, hemp, cannabis. We also learned how to fish and hunt and pick wild berries and fruit. And then when they learned how to grow rice and grain and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Well, not rice necessarily, but you know what I mean? They also discovered how to grow wheat on top of it. So you got cannabis, you got hemp, you got tobacco, you got cotton, corn, wheat. And they discovered, oh hey, wait a minute, the drinking water is unhealthy, but if we take this wheat, we can make beer out of it. So our founding fathers drank because it was a great way to relax and enjoy themselves, and because their drinking water wasn't clean. They didn't have the modern technology we have today. And if they survived, you know, fuck, it was on my shorts. Okay, now let's watch that.
Now, unless you're living under a rock, you are probably familiar with the term simp. It stands for sucker idolizing mediocre pussy, and it
Sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. That's what simp stands for. Sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. Yet another millennial term to describe the same shit that women go through when they trust a man, give them all their love. Here's where I stand on the issue. If women encounter shitty men and they go from boyfriend to boyfriend just trying to find Mr. Right, nobody sees it as, oh hey, you're struggling with the dating scene just like everyone else. No, she gets called a slut. And when guys are doing the same fucking thing, they go from woman to woman just trying to find a woman to make happy, they get called a simp. Simp is not too far off from slut, am I right? Fuck gender-based double standards.
It's basically making fun of the guys who idolize women who aren't that great and who basically bend over backwards, sacrifice all of their own desires just to try to appease this woman.
Okay, so the idea of a simp basically is someone who does everything they can to please a woman because he likes her and he's trying to make a good impression. Not because he wants to get down her pants or, you know what I'm saying, he just wants to make a good impression. Sometimes simps are like that, sometimes they're not. It depends on the situation. Personally, I like doing nice things for chicks because it feels good. Knowing that not every guy is like that, you know? But this is what I'm talking about when I say men and women experience similar situations. Women get called sluts for struggling with the dating scene, and men get called simps for struggling with the dating scene. And really, it's just men and women trying to find adults to make happy. That's all it is. That's what dating is. You're trying to find someone you can cuddle with and make them happy. That's all it is. And that's the thing of it. If you're an adult lusting after other adults, perfectly natural. Not the most important thing on the planet, though. Sex is not a need, it's a want. If you can't be happy without sex and without money, you're not going to be happy with it. That's just the truth. At the same time, it's perfectly natural to bitch when you're broke or you haven't had some pussy in a while. That's natural human instinct. Because society has conditioned us to crave these things, even though they're nice, but they're not a requirement, you know?
That they love so much or whatever. It's basically just making fun of guys for being super desperate, okay? And a lot of people are simps.
Making fun of guys for being super desperate, and a lot of guys are simps. That's what he just said. What's so desperate about wanting to make a woman feel happy just because you want to see her smile? It's because you want to make her laugh. Or when she's sad and depressed and you do something for her just to make her feel better. You know? I mean, fuck. I mean, I have a perfect example of this, but I'm not going to mention it. Just because, you know, I don't have to. You know what women want more than a big dick and a big bank account and six-pack abs? They want a guy who will listen and actually care about their needs. You know, when they're not in the mood to fuck or party with them or whatever, they just want to cuddle and have a conversation, Netflix and chill, you know? And that should be enough because that's your woman. No one else can have her. And that's the way you gotta be, man. Be like, hey, your girlfriend wants to play Mortal Kombat and just hang out and bullshit. Have a couple beers and play some video games. You know, communication and getting to know your other half is more important than sex or the money that can be achieved with the relationship. Establishing friendships are way more important than establishing some nookie. And here's the thing of it, YouTube. Here's the here's the here's the thing of it, YouTube. Women complain, and when they complain, listen. The two biggest complaints I've heard women say: one, men are so lucky they can pee standing up, and two, they're sick and tired of men always trying to get down their pants. Women enjoy sex just as much as men, but society has told women that if you crave it as much as men, you're a slut, and that's kind of unfair. You know, it's just the same negative standard that affects men if you try to find a woman to please, regardless of what you get out of the relationship. You just want a woman to make happy. You just want an of-age woman to make happy. You don't care about the sex or the money. You just want some companionship. You know? You get called a simp because you're trying to make the relationship work. Well, I gotta tell you something. You know what? Relationships are 50-50. Marriage is a job, and dating is like getting hired for that job. Think about it. Why should that chick date you when she's got 10 other guys that want to date you? Or date her, whatever, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean to say it like that. That's the alcohol. Fucking slurring up my words. But I'm serious. Like, why should a girl date you when she's got 10 other guys that want to date her? You know? And vice versa. If you're a dude and you got a bunch of chicks that want to date you, why rush it? You know? Sometimes people are given a golden opportunity, and that being said, you shouldn't waste it. But right off the bat, you see Hunter Avalon looking pretty disgusted and creeped out. You're just like, this guy's coming off as kind of judgmental. But before you judge Hunter Avalon, there's a reason why he's a little weirded out by it. I mean, some of the shit.
That's not a lie. I mean, there's a lot of people that they like to get a little simpy. But what happens when your biggest simp efforts are not rewarded?
Who cares if your biggest simp efforts aren't rewarded? If you're trying to please a woman and she's just not buying it, she's not into it, then find someone else. There are plenty of adult women out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do it all the time. Do enough to get her attention and then back off and see what happens. That's the trick, YouTube. Show her that you have potential to be her perfect boyfriend without being an ass about it, or at least trying not to be. And sometimes, regrettably, that's difficult, especially when you see her getting treated like shit. Shut up, Josh. Shut up, Josh. And that's the thing of it. You know, when you see that kind of thing happening, all you can do is let them make their own mistakes. You can't think or act for them. And sometimes that's the most frustrating part about trying to be as vague as I possibly can without giving away blah, 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 blah. I think we all know how that feeling goes. You know. But according to Hunter Avalon, simps have officially gone too far. So a guy gets a sex doll because he hasn't had a woman in a couple of years, like 30, 40 plus years. He then gets a plastic baby to simulate the family life because men are put underneath all this pressure to establish a home and establish a family and help populate, you know. And it's just like women who are being pressured to get married, men are pressured to produce kids. It's the negative, sad, sick truth of our society. It's a long-ass video response.
Well, you have to graduate to the next level of desperation, and that is a blow-up doll.
Oh yeah, because the idea of getting a sex doll is seen as desperation in our society. You know what? Fuck off, okay? I'm tired of that double standard. If you live in fucking Alaska, or you live in some small-ass rural town with a population of about 50, and like 98% of the women that are there are way too old for you or taken, and women in other counties are just stuck up and not trusting you because of the way our society's fucking grooming the dating scene. And you're sitting there fucking spending your whole goddamn life in that one small town because you're making the best of what you got in your shitty situation. It's been like, what, maybe 10 years since you've had some pussy. And you don't want to hurt women, but at the same time you're just like, why is it so hard to find someone? That is a complaint both genders say. You know, and that's why women and men are similar to each other. When they both experience shitty actions on the dating scene, both genders complain about it. I mean, think about it. The amount of men and women taking to social media to bitch about their dating scene or bitch about their other half. It's like, I'm a hypocrite for saying it, but keep your dating off of social media, you know? If I manage to meet the goth chick of my dreams in the next couple of weeks, years, whatever, you know, and she wanted to do YouTube videos with me, I'd let her, but I gave her full warning that my trolls are assholes and they suck, so... Yep, and she'd be the queen of my empire, believe that. Tell you what, my fangirls would worship my of-age girlfriend. That's how it is. They're like, oh my god, Lucky, I love Cobra in his videos. Haha. Now I say it like that because my trolls are dumbasses. They really are. They talk so much shit, and it's like, bro. They think, oh hey, you know what? I want to scare off every chick that Cobra associates with. That'll fucking show him. How dare he try to talk to women despite having Asperger's and being socially awkward? Who the fuck does he think he is? But I'm serious, like, if you're stuck in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, you've been in that same town for 40 plus years, been there your whole life, and you've tried to mingle with the local gals, but it just didn't take. Sometimes that happens. Regrettably, dating is difficult because it takes commitment. You know? So that being said, I mean, if you got a girlfriend, you want to do something spontaneous and romantic, and if she's old enough to drink alcohol, if you and her are old enough to drink alcoholic beverages, then have I got a romantic drink combination for you. You take a really, really thick champagne glass, and you fill it with sugar-coated strawberry slices, some crushed ice, and a little bit of ice cream chocolate on the rim of it. Stick it in the freezer. That chocolate gets hard to the glass. It gives you something to lick and sip on while you're enjoying your beverage. And you basically just refill your drink until the chocolate on your glass is gone. But I'm telling you right now, you do that. You know the chocolate I'm talking, it's the chocolate that Dairy Queen uses for their ice cream. That you know what I'm talking about. It gets cold and yeah. And then once you got that glass set just right, here's your drink combo. You get some pink champagne and you pour it so the carbonation is mild to none. And then we got half a glass of pink champagne. You fill the other half with some tequila rose. That's the problem. If you go to mix tequila rose with pink champagne, it might curdle just a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, if you pour it when there's minimal to no carbonation built up in the pink champagne, it might not be so bad. And the only reason you'd mix it like that is just because, not trying to be sexist, but pink is generally a female color. You know, that's why they say it takes a real man to wear pink. Oh. At the same time, we shouldn't gender wash colors. I'm just saying though. And once you've made this drink combination, you get a bath bomb started. Get a nice pink bubble bath bomb going. That's not enough. Sprinkle some red rose petals on top of the water. Nice, hot, relaxing to the touch. Just like a spa. If you make your girlfriend feel sexually attractive, pampered, and respected, and you make other women jealous of y'all's relationship because you treat her right, you're doing something right. Cheers, you too. And while she's sitting in that hot bath, get some massage oil and massage her feet and her neck. And just listen to her bitch about her day. You don't give a fuck about why she's mad or upset. You're just happy that she's with you. Second thing, I'm serious. Couples bitch about dividing up their responsibilities. I'm just like, if you take the time to cook and clean together, make it a couples activity, it takes the stress out of doing it. There's always this negative standard that, oh, a woman should be a good cook. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. People can benefit from learning how to cook. No one's good knowing how to cook. No one's good at being a perfect dating partner. These things take time to learn. Whether you learn through your own experiences or through watching someone else's experience. But I'll tell you what, that's another thing that women and men have in common. If you're a good cook, that boosts your dating appeal. Cheers, you two.
People that actually unironically use sex dolls are some of the most desperate freaks I've ever seen in my life.
You want to talk about desperate, Hunter Avalone? You want to talk about desperate? You're lucky enough to have found a wife. In fact, you want to talk about simp? You want to talk about simp? You know, this idea of doing stuff to please your woman. I'm like, dude, and you said it yourself, most men are simps. That's kind of like saying most women are sluts, so that's where I disagree with that. But back to my point, how much money did you spend on your wife's wedding ring? Go ahead, I'll wait. Is that a little too far? I get it. Okay, if I found the woman I wanted to marry, I would make a badass, one-of-a-kind custom wedding ring that no other woman would have. Well, what would you get? I'd get a silver ring with gold on it, fire opal, and diamond. There'd be a big old fire opal and a diamond hedged in the middle of it. And when people look at it, they're like, dude, that is a gorgeous fucking ring. Where'd you get that? And then she says that her other half had it custom made for her. That's how you treat the ladies. I mean, shit, if you're gonna fucking spend a shit ton of money on a ring, you might as well make it custom made for her. Something that's pretty, you know, something that shows you give a fuck. And sometimes us guys, our wallets don't match how we feel, you know? You want to show her that you give a fuck, that she's your whole world. And sometimes your wallet's not fat enough to show her that you care. So that being said, fellas, if you're trying to be romantic for your woman, show her that you care in your own special way. You know, that's the best way to look at it, I guess. This age-old stereotype that all women want is money and all men want is pussy, it's just... Something about alcohol makes me an honest bastard. God damn. I mean, you know what's really cringy? The fact that, you know, to be fair, I see why he's creeped out by this story. We'll get into that here in a second. But, I
mean, it's like they're just announcing to everybody, like, hey, all of my relationships have failed. I can't even land a human woman, so that's off the list. I can't get a hooker for some reason. Maybe you're broke. So you've graduated to this inanimate object that you...
Okay, I hate to be like that, but I'm going to take it to a level that's a fair point, but really disgusting. Look at Ed Gein, look at Ted Bundy, and you want to get pissed off because this guy's got a sex doll to make him happy. I mean, that's the cleanest way of saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck serial killers. I'm just saying, like, dude, come on, bro. But at this point, you're probably wondering to yourself, why is Hunter Avalon so creeped out by this story? Going back to what I said earlier about how names are a common thing. Well, apparently the veteran that got this sex doll also bought a plastic baby to simulate the family life. And he named his sex doll son Hunter. And Hunter Avalon, understandably, is creeped out by it. I mean, I kind of think, okay, what if one of my fans had a hard time getting a girlfriend and they did the same thing to me? But this isn't one of Hunter's fans. This is just a random coincidence. And the fact that it's a random coincidence makes it somewhat weirder, but kind of funny from someone else's perspective. But honestly, I don't blame Hunter for being creeped out. I really don't. Like I said, when I started watching this, a lot of opinions came to mind, a lot of judgments, but then after watching the rest of it, I'm like, well, you know what? That's understandable, dude. But at the same time, you want to call it desperate. Dude, your definition of desperate. Desperation looks different for different people, I suppose. You know, some people might view the idea of spending several thousands of dollars or several hundreds of dollars on a wedding ring just so your girlfriend can brag about how fucking top shit she is because her boyfriend's got some money. I'll tell you what. You know, women get so disgusted when men brag about the sex they have with their girlfriend. but you turn around and you'll brag about the diamond ring he gives you when he marries you. Okay, Cobra, that's too far. Calm down. Sitting there shoving it in everyone's face like, oh, look what I got and you don't. Okay, Cobra, calm down. Nickelback, Rockstar. I make that song reference because that's how a lot of people feel like they have to be or want to be, you know? Because we all just don't want to be big rock stars and live in hell. A Cobra can't sing Nickelback. And you know what? Nickelback gets a lot of hate because the singer's done some douchey shit. But I like Nickelback. Some of the songs they make are good. It's just sad when you see celebrities who are douchey in real life. That's a different argument. You made the reference, you gonna sing it? Nickelback Rockstar lyrics YouTube.
Here's a matching video.
Thank you, Google. Just to be a smartass, I'm gonna sing this song.
I'm through standing in line, the clubs will never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. For what you need, I'll need a credit card that's got no limit and a big black gym with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been there, done that. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars. My star on Hollywood Boulevard, somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat it. Hang out in the coolest bars, the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with the bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Okay, that was a little too far. You want me to finish it? Okay, you know what, yeah. Now singing this song for this video is a little too far, but who?
I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple of autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I have a quesadilla. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy Mansion.
Rest in peace, Hugh Hefner. Oh, dude. That's just it. Like, Chester Bennington kills himself because of some depressing bullshit. But Hugh Hefner just lives the life, dude. Smoking a pipe and hanging out with some hot chicks, you know? And people are quick to call Hugh Hefner a pig. But in an interview for Playboy, I shit you not, a lot of women were ticked off at him, quick to, you know, try to get a stir out of him, right? I'll tell you what. They were just like, hey, how would you feel if we made a magazine featuring naked men? That'll show you pig men. And he's like, hey man, if it makes you women happy, go for it. I ain't gonna judge. And that's modern day feminism in a nutshell, baby. Playboy is a lot more classy than Hustler, I'm just saying. And here's the problem with it. With the invention of the internet, all of a sudden people didn't need a Playboy magazine to see a naked chick. They were just like, they Google it, you know. So Playboy's sitting there going, fuck dude, how are we going to stay relevant? Well, so they switched their magazine to less naked and kept it for online and for special edition kind of thing. And they kept it classy and it was able to save the company. So, I mean, it kind of goes back on the roots, but I get why they did it. But a lot of people have this misconstrued conception that Playboy is pornographic. Well, I'm here to set the record straight. There's not much difference between a tasteful nude and some pornography. Okay, if you take a hot blonde with some big tits, sitting there just looking sexy by the pool, the lighting's just right, it's tastefully done, she's not touching herself, she's just sitting there with her hands at the side, just modeling for the camera like, what's up, you know. Tasteful nude. Take that same image and now she's playing with her tits and fucking fingering her pussy, and that's pornography. That's the difference. If there's no sex involved, then it's not pornographic. Simple enough.
I'm gonna dance and a phone that loves to blow my money for me. So I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars, in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with the bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary. It's today's who's who. We'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. We're gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna drop my pills from a best expense and get washed up singers writing all my songs. Lip sync 'em every night so I don't get 'em wrong.
Okay, I fucked up on that part. God damn it. And the irony of it, getting washed up singers to write all my songs, lip sync them every night so I don't get them wrong. Let me rewind that. It's I can sing just like Nickelback, that's the whole point.
My songs, lip sync 'em every night so I don't get 'em wrong. Washed up.
Let me rewind it.
Alabama. We're gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna pop my pills from a best dispenser. Get washed up singing, writing all my songs. Lip sync 'em every night so I don't get 'em wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars, the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with the bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary. It's today's who's who. We'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star.
No copyright intended. That was just me being a smart ass. A smart ass simp. Tell you what. Fucking dumb, dude.
You now pretend is your wife. It's weird, it's desperate, it's cringy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I was recently scrolling through Twitter when I saw pictures of this.
Scrolling through Twitter and you saw an article that made you go, oh, I'm offended. Welcome to 2020.
A blow-up doll giving birth. Meet Terry and Stephanie East. Yeah, so this guy, Terry, has a blow-up doll who apparently gave birth.
Okay, he has a silicone love doll is the correct term. Not that it fucking matters. Okay, blow-up dolls are something that you, it's just like a bouncy ball. You unplug the thing and you blow it up and, okay. What the person you're talking about has is a silicone love doll as featured in that one movie with those obnoxious kids. What's that one movie I'm thinking of? You know the movie I'm talking about. These kids are like really super young. They're sitting there cussing, and then one of their buddies' dads has one, and they take it for a car ride, and then the car crashes, and then the doll goes flying through the window and into the highway, and it's just seen as really, really raunchy comedy, you know?
To his son or something. Really, really weird. So we're going to read a little bit about this here, and then we're going to look at some pictures, and we're going to talk about how cringy it is. So it says Terry and Stephanie East are a couple from Chatsworth, Georgia.
You know, a shout out to Terry East. Thank you for your service, man. I appreciate it.
Getting close to Florida, just saying. And have been together since 2016. Terry is a veteran, and Stephanie is a sex doll from China. Yes, you read that correctly. Okay, well, Terry, thank you for your service, my
Okay. No offense to Hunter Avalon, but I see how it is. Right off the bat, he's just quick with the, oh my god, this is so disgusting. And then he finds out that Terry's a veteran, and he's like, oh, wow, thank you for your service. Like, Terry had a hard time finding a wife, so he got himself a sex doll to make himself happy. If it helps with his PTSD, who gives a fuck? I'm serious, YouTube. If the adult-sized silicone sex doll helps with Terry's PTSD, who gives a shit? He's not going out of your way to hurt you. Just a weird coincidence, but yeah.
friend. I'm not being sarcastic. I appreciate your service, but you might want to.
He does appreciate the service, obviously, because he's an American. I get that. And on top of that, like, Hunter Avalon's been drafted, my dudes. That's the only reason he's saying it, and because he supports vets. I mean, really, that's just the truth of it.
Consult a therapist because you might be suffering a little bit of PTSD. The S, of course, stands for simp. Stephanie and Terry became famous in 2017 when Stephanie began posting about her undying love for Terry and the dinners she cooked her loving husband. So this guy would set up a Facebook page for his sex doll and then post as her, like, pictures of stuff.
You heard that correctly, folks. Terry and his adult-sized sex doll. quite literally are a thing. And he'll literally pretend to be his sex doll as a real person on Facebook, posting pictures of the food he cooks himself, because society, like I said, has brainwashed women and men to such a degree that if you're not married or having kids before you're 30, society looks at you like you're a loser. Women are told if you're not married before you're 30, oh geez, you're going to be alone. Then came the trend, oh, 30's the new 40. You know, come on. I have to take a leak because honestly that beer went right through me and How is this any different than someone pretending to be their dog on Facebook and saying, I had a great day today, sat there and chased a bunch of cats and ate my own, you know. The only difference is people aren't fucking their dogs. Okay, so yeah, I get it. It's a little weird. People love their dogs so much, and with social media, they'll sit there and create a Facebook page, an actual profile for their dog like it's a human being. And you know what? That's where I draw the line. And even then, dude, like if you want to create a Facebook page for your sex doll and cook food for yourself and post as the sex doll saying, oh hey babe, just wanted to say here's the food I cooked for you and it makes you happy, I think it's a little weird too, but I'm not gonna judge, you know. It's better than being transracial. Okay, did I really have to say that? Oh yes, I did.
Isn't that weird and creepy? Just wanted to share my anniversary with all my friends that 2 years ago I met Terry online, and 2 weeks later I was out of tyranny, away from my homeland China, and in his arms on my way to becoming an American. Okay? Hope you enjoy the special meal I cooked you, baby. I love you so much. In another post dating back to July 2017, the couple apparently had a fight but made up over this delicious dinner. So this is just some weird levels of desperation, right? Everyone's following so far with this, right? This guy has a sex doll. He set up a Facebook page for her where he then posts as the sex doll. He also makes himself dinner and pretends that the sex doll is making him dinner. Like, bro, get yourself a real woman, pal.
Oh, that right there, that's the attitude I'm talking about. Just get yourself a real woman, pal. Sometimes it's not easy, dude. Like I said earlier, dude, if you're stuck in the middle of fucking nowhere in a town that has a population of 75 plus people, not very big, just rural America, and most of the chicks that you wanted to date in high school fucking left to go to bigger cities and bigger plans, and you're still stuck in the same town doing the same shit, you know, and you haven't had a girlfriend in 30 to 40 years, and you just want something to cuddle with. You know, you're put underneath all this pressure by our society as a male. If you don't find a woman to cook for you, you're a loser. And for women, it's like if you don't find a man to marry you, you're going to be a lonely cat lady the rest of your life. Like, fuck off with that shit, dude. So, you really can't blame people if they've had a hard time. Honestly, I think sex dolls can be therapeutic in some way, shape, or form. And certainly the double standard is there. I mean, they make sex toys for women and women use them just as much as men would use them. But nobody focuses on it when women use it. It's always, oh, these gross men, they're such perverts, I tell you what. You know what? I get why people get sex dolls, okay? I watch females on Chatterbait because for me it's therapeutic. Even if I can't afford to give them all the coins in the world for being awesome, you know. I haven't had a girlfriend in like 3 years. I think porn is disgusting because of the way women are treated. And to be quite honest, when I watch Chatterbait, it's liberating because I know I like females that are of age, and on top of that, she's in control of what she does on her camera. So, like, we all do weird things to deal with being single. Not all of us are fortunate enough to find a wife like Hunter Avalone.
And then he made up this like weird fucking story about how like you rescued her from tyranny from China. Like, no, buddy, you went online and purchased a sex doll because you were desperate. Let's not make this out to be anything.
You're not desperate, you just want some companionship. The idea that being lonely makes you desperate, that's the problem with our society. It's because both women and men get lonely. Case in point, Hunter Avalone, before you met your wife, I bet you were pretty lonely.
Think that it's not, okay, pal? And then on July 8th, 2018, Stephanie East gave birth to a male doll named Hunter East? No! God, no! Why would, of all the names?
The only reason you're creeped out by it is because it is a little weird. But, you know what? And because he named the child he had with his sex doll Hunter. That's the only reason why you're weirded out by it. To be fair, we hand women, when they're children, plastic Barbie dolls, babies that are made out of plastic, easy bake ovens, fake kitchens, etc., etc. So this idea that, oh, a man can be nurturing and caregiving is seen as unheard of. No, because you men are just violent and disgusting pigs that only want sex. Well, think about it. We're letting boys play with G.I. Joe dolls that carry little miniature M16s and, which, kind of promotes violence a little bit. Not knocking G.I. Joe, that's a badass series, but I'm just saying. Like 80 to 95% of women who played with Barbie growing up either became super materialistic, had body image issues, or both. But the best way to look at sex dolls is like Barbie for adults. You can dress her up and play with her. And if that makes people uncomfortable, well then, look at pregnant Barbie. I'm just saying. I'm watching that fucking, dope or nope 10 weirdest kid toys on the internet, and they actually have a Barbie doll that comes with a magnetic shell that makes her look like she's pregnant. You get this little baby fetus to go with it, and I'm like, okay, I know women have been blessed/cursed with childbearing, but that's a little too far, dude. Would you let your kid play with a trans Barbie? I'm just saying. Like, here's Barbie with a magnetic penis. Barbie wants to become a Ken. Barbie wants to become a Caitlyn Jenner. Okay, Cobra, calm down.
What about Derek? Jake? Frank? I don't know, there's a bunch of fucking names besides Hunter, and...
You know what? In Hunter Avalone's defense, I hear him on that, dude. Like, it's a little weird. And believe me, it gets weirder. But honestly, if the dude who owns the sex doll is happy, he's not hurting anyone, who cares? That's what I'm getting at. Like, okay, no disrespect to my fans, but if one of my fans got a sex doll and then pretended to have a kid with it and named it Gothic King Cobra, I'd be like, bro, I'm flattered, but that's a little obsessive. Oh, I hear a raven or a crow outside. Magnificent. It's a crow. Hello, Mr. Crow. Ha 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 ha! I love crows. I love ravens. Fun fact, a herd of crows is called a murder, and a herd of ravens is called a conspiracy. Eh. You know, and that's just it. If you're struggling on the dating scene, at least we have options that don't involve being a depressing lump on a log because nobody wants to fuck you or cuddle you. And you know why people are so depressed because they can't get laid or find a companion? It's because half of it is because it's natural to feel depressed when you're rejected. The other half is because society puts way too much pressure on people to get laid and get married. And that's the fucking truth.
And that's the name you pick for your sex dolls, baby? Hunter? Is this what I've been reduced to, people? Good God, this is embarrassing.
No, I think it's just a kooky coincidence. No offense to Hunter, but the world doesn't revolve around you. Honestly, I would feel the same way if I was in his situation, you know.
Alright, Terry's mother was the midwife who oversaw the delivery and stayed by Stephanie's side even when Terry passed out. Here's photos from the magical birth of Hunter East, potential future...
Mother of the fucking year. Can we get a round of applause for Terry's mother? That has to be really traumatic for anyone to do. Like, your son has potential issues and he's failed to give you grandkids, and half of you is disappointed because of the way society conditions people, but your motherly instinct kicks in and you're just like, you want to feel bad for him and coddle him because he's childlike to you. So basically, Terry's mother helped Terry assist with delivering the sex doll's baby. And yeah, dude. My trolls send me sex dolls because they want to try to ruin my career and make me look weirder than I already am. And I roll with it and make fun of myself along the way. And this is what happens in our society. People see that shit and go, they get inspired. Some of the comments I've heard, is Sean your son? No, he's just a ventriloquist puppet that I do raunchy ventriloquist skits with. Like, fuck, dude.
Alabama quarterback. Holy shit. Okay, let's take a look at this. So that
He even put a birth certificate for his son Hunter. How he's an Alabama quarterback. You know what? It's a little out there, but yeah, you know, as long as he's not hurting anyone, he's just, you know, keeping to himself. You know, who cares? You know, I salute Terry. Thank you for your service and having the courage to be yourself and acknowledging, hey, you know what? This is a lot easier. And sometimes this is the cold truth of it. You know why women complain about this shit? Why men are sick and tired? They're sick and tired of men just fucking them and leaving. It's because sometimes women are drama and men don't want to put up with it. They want a woman to please and make love to, not someone who's going to bite their head off at every fucking turn. And for women on this argument, they want a man who will treat them right, listen to their problems, and somebody who's willing to be there for them regardless of how much money or sex they have. And when you ignore these obvious standards in our society, it creates people like Terry. No disrespect to Terry, but I get why Hunter's creeped out by it.
they set up his information. That's weird. They have him registered as like an actual person. Ah!
Lars and the real girl. Too far, Cobra. Calm down.
Dad soothing newly born Hunter. Stop! No! Can we just call this baby a different name now? Come on. This is so creepy looking, dude.
You know what? The only reason you're creeped out by it is because this guy's a little bit different. The baby he has looks a little bit creepy. And because he has the same first name, coincidentally picked the same first name as you. That's the only reason why you're creeped out by it. Because your privileged ass found a wife you could spend the rest of your life with.
It's like this guy just like coddling a baby doll and like pretending it's real. That's some fucked up shit, pal.
Oh, that's some fucked up shit, pal. Okay, how is that any different than handing little girls a plastic baby? I mean, really? Like, I'm serious, YouTube. I'm not gonna watch the rest of this. If you want to watch this Hunter Avalon video, you can. Like, you get the idea of it. You know, I'm being kind of a hypocrite here because some of the trolls, what they done to me. But I'm serious, YouTube. Yeah, it's a little weird, but if he's not hurting anyone, who the fuck cares? Because I feel like this video's long enough. I don't want to pee on camera. I'm going to end the video and take a discreet piss and leave you with it, man. Thanks for watching my opinion on this.